Ladies and gentlemen, I'm really excited to make an announcement today. We've got a new machine from MakerBot Industries underneath that red bag. And I'm gonna reveal that momentarily. Before I do that, just a few words about kind of what's going on, what's happening in personal manufacturing, personal fabrication. So, about a year and a half ago, Zach and Adam and I had been working on 3D printers, and we'd gotten one to work, and then it promptly let all the magic smoke out. For those of you who don't know what that means, it means it sort of caught on fire. And we were like, this is not a good design, let's not do this one, and let's start our own company and do this right. We'll use the tools we have at hand, laser cutters, hand tools, power tools, some machining equipment, and at our hackerspace, and we'll use as many off-the-shelf parts as possible, and we created, and we'll drink a lot of caffeine. And so, within about 2 months of straight hacking, we came out with the Cupcake CNC. If you don't know what the Cupcake CNC is, it's our first machine. We actually have 14 of them running over there in parallel, cranking out things all day long. It's kind of behind the fabric. We're in the fabrication area. You'll find us. We're the ones with the printers. Anyhow, so we made that machine. It's been a fantastic success. There are 2,111 Cupcake CNC 3D printing machines out in the world, and everybody who has one is considered a MakerBot operator, and people make the most wonderful things with them. This is actually an object made on the new machine. I'm going to go ahead and pass this around. It's the Stanford Bunny, and basically that's one of our favorite. That's an old classic model from the graphics animation days of, back in the day. And we were like, let's do a throwback to that. Okay, so we're like a year and a half ago, we make the Cupcake CNC, we just release it to the internet loves it, we crank them out as hard as we can, we stay up really late at night pretty much the whole last year, and then we're open source geeks, and we believe in releasing early, often, and with rap music if possible. So whenever we learn something, or whenever one of our users comes up with a new idea or a new improvement, our goal, whenever we make an improvement or one of the MakerBot operators makes an improvement, we go ahead and just bundle it in, and everybody gets to make that improvement. For example, when we first shipped, we shipped with laser cut little bearings, laser cut kind of little spools to guide the belts. And then we were like, this isn't so good, let's do printed parts. So we made that same part. Not me. Okay. It's music from over there, I think. Music. Oh. Anyhow, we're obsessed with embracing the community, using, we're scrappy, so we got to use all of our resources, including all of you, to improve the machine and make it better. So over the last year, we've done some really nice things, all those are reflected in this new machine. You can still get a cupcake, and in fact, we have a cupcake starter kit on sale for the absurd price of $649, which has a Mark IV extruder. That's the last one. We have a bunch of those. We have to get rid of them. And it comes with an acrylic build platform. It's the minimum you need to get into 3D printing. Then we have the Cupcake Ultimate Kit, which comes with the cupcake body, a Mark V extruder, which is hot stuff, and the automated build platform, V1. And now we have, drum roll please. Can you all pretend to make a drum roll? That's very good. Oh, keep going. I'm a little stuck here. Hold on. Keep going, a little louder. So this is the MakerBot Industries Thing-o-matic. Basically, this is a machine that makes things for you over and over again. The state of it is, it's bigger. Instead of being 10 by 10 by 10 centimeters, it's 12 by 12 by 12 centimeters. we were originally thinking like, let's turn it up to 11. And then we were like, no, let's turn it up to 12. It's got the Mark V extruder on it. We released this a few weeks ago. This is just absolutely dependable. We've run a Mark V extruder for over 1,000 hours of 3D printing without any problems at all. Basically, it just works. The plastic goes in here, goes to the hot end, gets heated up, comes out in a very tiny angel hair spaghetti manner at the other side, and then it draws in plastic, and then it goes up a little bit and draws on top of that, and when it's done a bunch of layers, you've got a 3D printed object. Mark V, super exciting. It's also got the PAX little wheel here, so you can change colors on the fly. Let's say you have an object that you've made, and you want the bottom half to be red and the top half to be black. No problem. You just press pause, you take the filament, you pull it out, you put the new filament in, and then you press pause again, and it begins with the new color. Oh, it's so great. Another thing that's exciting is the new automated build platform V2. This is the same awesomeness as V1, only bigger, so you can make bigger things automatically. Now this is the thing that separates us from the rest of the 3D printers. Everybody else has thought of 3D printers as prototyping machines. They think of them as things that you make something, and because it's so expensive to make it, you wouldn't possibly make more than one. You would just use that to show people what it would look like if you went into mass manufacturing with it. Well, we've taken that idea, inserted dynamite, and lit the fuse. Basically, what this is about is now you can make something, and then when it's done, it just falls out the front, hopefully into like a shoebox padded with foam. And then it begins again and makes another one. With 5 pounds of filament, we estimate that you can go for about 4.5 days, 24 hours, and just make thing after thing after thing after thing. So, this is... Yeah, it's the price of shoes. Does the shoebox cost extra? Okay. Other exciting things is the Z stage. With a cupcake, we had 4 absurdly cheap M8 rods, threaded rods that our goal is to make it cheap. We made it cheap. It worked. But now we're like, let's step it up a little bit. We have a stepper motor with an integrated Acme threaded rod. That means that before, it would only travel at 150 millimeters a minute. Now it travels 1,000 millimeters a minute. That's 6.666666 times faster, which is a lot faster. What that means in terms of the prints that you make is when it does a layer and then it goes up, it doesn't go up slowly, it goes up fast. So your what we call warts or boogers on the edge from that little point, those are greatly reduced and almost eliminated. Okay, the Z stage. It's a cantilevered Z stage. I just like saying the word cantilevered. It's cantilevered. Okay, next up we've got the electronics. Notice you don't see any electronics on the outside here. That's on our last machine. We have them on the outside, which is fun for hacking on them. But you know what? When you're traveling with them, it kind of makes it look like a bomb, and I know about this firsthand. 3 out of 5 TSA employees now want to buy a MakerBot. So, we have Generation 4 electronics. We built the Generation 3 electronics actually for the RepRap community and then used it on the MakerBot. And Gen 4 are absurdly upgraded. It is much better. You're gonna have no comms problems. We used to use a USB to TTL cable, which traveled at a grand whopping 9,600 baud, which is like really slow. It's like 1986 modem speed. Now we use just straight up USB and it's super fast. It uses the Arduino Mega, which is great. We all love the Arduino Mega. It's powerful, it's great. And it has a lot of expansive, you're going to be able to expand it. If you're a tinkerer, you can expand it a lot. The stepper drivers, we used to just have stepping drivers. Now we have micro stepping drivers. What that means is right now, you can print, and the resolution, how accurately you can place that tool head is about, well, it is exactly 299.6 dots per inch. With micro-stepping, we multiply that times 16. What's 300 times 16? 4,800? 4,800 DPI. I mean, that's a large number. Okay. Let's see, is there anything else I can tell you about it? Oh. It has, we used to have, we originally started, we had end stops on it. And they were, we thought we were being really cool because they were light activated end stops. And that was great until you had it in a really bright room. And then the machine would just automatically stop because light would leak into those end stops, and that was no fun. So now we have switches that are mechanical end stops. So basically, it also, besides being automatic and doing things over and over again, you don't have to, you can just start, it centers itself, it goes home, and it knows exactly where it is. You can set it up so it begins. You can just load something in, it begins, you don't have to do any calibration, you're good to go. For those of you with, how many of you have MakerBots in the audience? 1, 2, 3, awesome. Come over and see us at the MakerBot tent. All of you should actually come see us at the MakerBot tent. We're in this fabrication area. If you go over here into the left, we're kind of in the back corner, but we've got like an absurd amount of machines running. You should come check us out. I think I was about to say something. End stops. Any questions? Ooh. Yes, in the back.
Can you make shoes?
Make shoes? Can it make models of a shoe? Yes and yes. The limitation is, I would estimate that the biggest shoe it could make is about that big. So can I see your feet? Oh, I think we'd have to print that out in 2 parts. Like a model of a shoe. Yeah, you can make a shoe that size, no problem. In fact, you can make a lot of them. Okay, the last question was price. How much does it cost? The cupcake started out at $9.50, and then we just brought it down to $6.49. And then now this one starts at $12.25. So this is a full meal deal, everything you need for the absolute cutting edge 3D printing technology right now. Get started in personal manufacturing, make things. It's so much fun, it's great. Is there anything? Price, $12.25. Yes?
Alright, so you're talking about how to get different colors and positives. Is that, you have to like wait until you pause it, or will it stop and then make noise to annoy you until you make that color?
So I'll just repeat the question. If you want to change colors, will it stop at the right place and tell you to switch the color in? Now, what I would say is, well, nobody's ever asked me that before. That's never been requested, but I know that it can be done. So nobody's done that hack. You could be the first one, and then you would be the guy. You would be the color changing guy who's responsible for that. That's one of my favorite things is when people ask me questions. Can it do it? And I'd never heard that idea before, and I get to say, you could be that person who blazes that trail into the personal manufacturing future. How long does it take to build? Well, we've built a few of them, 3 so far, and the first one took about 9 hours of personal time, but the next one took like 6.5, 7. So we say, just like with a cupcake, that you should plan to spend a weekend with a friend and either a 2-liter of caffeinated beverage or a 6-pack of your choice, depending on your age and affinity. Any other questions?
When?
So they're actually, while I was talking to you, they went up for sale in the store.
What?
So, but in terms of shipping, we'll ship them in 7 weeks. So if you order them now, we'll ship it in 7 weeks. That's like mid-November, and we'll get it off to you. And we're just waiting on, we've got all our prototypes and everything's all done and everything's locked in, and we've ordered everything. As soon as we get it in, we'll put it together and send it off to you. Cool. Put it into our software replicator G, which is free and open source, and it's got a scale option. So you can be like, how tiny can this go? Scale it on down, and then you can move the slider over. Well, how big can it go? Yeah, you could do both. Yes, sir?
Yeah, you have a non-supported section on top, and you can change the filament. Can you put a filament in that will dissolve rated to support that part?
We're working on that. That's a great idea. He asked about support material. It's an idea that seems very simple, the idea of having 2 materials and one could dissolve away. The implementation, not trivial. And we are currently, you may notice I have a flat part on my head from just banging my head against that barrier, but we're going to break through it. Okay. If you'd like to join me, I'm going to go back over there, fire these things up, and we'll start blazing a trail into the personal manufacturing future. Thank you all for coming.